Before 2008, my kids used to ask questions that may sound familiar. Why don't we get a bigger house? Why don't we get a new van? Why can't we get a boat like the neighbors? My wife and I just look at each other. Some of our neighbors had beautiful homes, new vehicles, boats in the driveway. We knew many of them made good money. I mean, we weren't jealous, a little envious maybe, but we just couldn't quite figure out how they seemed to afford so much. A few years later, some of those same neighbors lost those homes. That's when some things became a little clear. There's a difference between looking rich and actually being wealthy. Now, to be clear, the recession that got bad in '08, that was brutal. Unemployment doubled, many people lost their jobs, others had their hours cut, overtime disappeared. Entire industries like construction, real estate, parts of manufacturing were hit hard. Small businesses struggled. We saw the same thing with small businesses and supply chains during COVID. Some families were affected no matter how well they planned. But what the crisis also revealed was something else. A lot of households had built lifestyles that depended on everything going right. Income creates opportunity, but cash flow determines whether you can build wealth or stress. When income rises, lifestyle usually follows. A bigger mortgage, newer vehicles, higher insurance, more fixed expenses. And those expenses don't shrink when income does. If your spending rises to match your income, you haven't built wealth. You've built stress. Cash flow is simply the difference between what you earn and what you spend. Income minus expenses. Make $100,000 and spend $98,000, cash flow's thin. Make $60,000 and spend $45,000, cash flow's strong. Cash flow builds savings. Cash flow builds investments. Cash flow builds stability. Years ago, I had two employees. One made over $80,000 a year. The other made half that. The one making $80,000 always asked for cash advances. The lower earner never did. She saved. She invested. She protected her cash flow. The difference wasn't income. It was behavior. For some, the financial crisis and COVID didn't create instability. It exposed it. Many households had simply taken on more fixed obligations than their income could safely support. When income dropped, those obligations didn't drop with it. The mortgage was still there. The car payments were still there. The monthly payments were still there. And that's when the difference between income and cash flow becomes very clear. Richness is consumption, and consumption disappears when income stops. Wealth is different. Wealth grows from consistent, positive cash flow over time. Income gives you an opportunity, but cash flow can determine whether you build wealth. So ask yourself honestly, are you building wealth, or are you just building a lifestyle? If this helped you think about money a little differently, consider subscribing and follow along as we continue building your financial house step by step.